Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Checking this rain this morning. Jill Doppler 5000 radar showing some showers, especially in our southern counties. I'll let you know if you'll see this for your morning commute.
One person is dead and another is injured after a deputy chase ended in a crash. Coming up, what we know about this investigation this morning.
And funeral services for pro golfer Grayson Murray will be held today. How his family is planning to keep his legacy alive as the community gathers to honor his memory. Following that story and others this morning on this Monday morning on WRAL News and Fox 50. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yeah, take a look behind us at Dix Park. Some rain coming down. It's really coming down there right now. A couple different areas are seeing those spotty showers. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner shows us the map and where that rain is falling right now.
When we take a look at Jill Doppler 5000 radar, it doesn't look like there's a lot of coverage, but there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. So where this rain is falling, it is coming down fairly heavily. Even there, I mean, in Raleigh, you can barely even see that little spot producing all that rain that is falling heavily in downtown Raleigh. We are not looking at thunderstorms across the area right now, but later this afternoon, we add a little bit of that daytime heating to the atmosphere. We may see a few scattered storms. Right now, we're looking at steady to heavy rain in parts of Fayetteville. That's going to be moving into the northern part of Sampson County. It's already moving in, but it will continue to slide that way. We're seeing rain from Goldsboro northward up toward Wilson and Rocky Mount. And then look at that. I mean, right there inside the Beltline is a tiny little shower, a little bit of patchy rain down in Peak Wave Arena and up around Falls Lake. Futurecast showing this band of showers moving on out by about 10 or 11 o'clock, a break around lunchtime, and then just a few isolated cells pop up for us during the evening, but nothing that should cause major problems for the evening commute. Here's a live look at Wilson right now. We've had a few showers roll through there. More on the way. 70 is our temperature in the triangle. 67 is our dew point, so it is a warm and sticky start this morning. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s this afternoon. More chances for rain and thunderstorms this week. I'll walk you through it coming up. Eric?
Well, Elizabeth, taking a look at traffic here. It is a Monday and it is busy out there this morning. I want to direct your attention up here to I-40, I-540. Here we've got a pair of crashes that are slowing things down here right now. As we take a closer look, there we go. Clicker's working now. Let's take a closer look. You can see that's going to be on the freeway there. That causing some pretty significant backups in those westbound lanes. Take a live look outside right now. I-40 at 540. You see westbound looking quite slow here at this point. Eastbound, definitely busy, but not so bad. Also want to send you up to I-540 again as well. We've been tracking these slowdowns here for the last couple of minutes. You'll see the worst of it is in between 401 and Capitol Boulevard here. That's going to be adding a couple of minutes to your drive. Taking a live look out there as well. I-540 at Capitol. You can see by the time you get there, it's still going to be a little slow, but not too bad. That's mostly clearing up as we make our way deeper into the morning. We're going to be keeping a close eye on these issues. Let you know as things change.
All right, thank you, Eric. We now know the name of the person killed in a serious crash in Apex this morning. Authorities say 19-year-old Mario Rivera crashed his car into a tree on Green Level Church Road. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. The crash happened just before 3 o'clock this morning. Highway Patrol say speed was a factor.
Another major crash WRAL News is following in Wake County. A driver killed after authorities say they led a deputy on a chase that ended in a crash. That crash happened at Lewisburg Road and Zebulon Road. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is at the Wake County Sheriff's Office. Kelsey, the intersection was closed for a while, but that's since changed.
Chris, that intersection just reopened overnight, and this morning deputies with the Wake County Sheriff's Office are looking into what led up to that chase and eventually the crash. But let's get you straight to video now from the scene so you can see investigators there working. State troopers say the crash happened late last night at Lewisburg Road and Zebulon Road. They say a deputy tried to pull over a driver on I-540 near Lewisburg, but that driver kept going, and that's when the chase started. The driver later crashed into a black sedan and another vehicle. One person who authorities say was the suspect died in the crash. Another person is in the hospital this morning with serious injuries. Now we're working to find out why deputies tried to pull over that driver before they took off. So we'll be sure to keep you updated as we find out more. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Another crash to tell you about happened on Lewisburg Road, about 10 miles away at Fox Road. Video from our breaking news tracker shows a Wake County Medic SUV being hooked onto a tow truck. We're working to find out what happened there and if the two crashes are connected.
This morning, family and friends will gather for a memorial service for a Raleigh pro golfer, Grayson Murray. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from Providence Church in Raleigh. And Laura, this comes a day after Murray was honored at the UNC Health Championship at the Raleigh Country Club.
Michelle, yes, this morning someone at the church here told us they're expecting a lot of people today. As you can imagine, loved ones describing Grayson Murray as a generous and kind man. The services will be taking place here at Providence Church. This is just off of Glenwood Avenue. The golf community came together yesterday to honor and remember the PGA Tour winner who died by suicide. His family invited friends and fans to join them at the Corn Ferry Tour's UNC Health Championship for a special tee time. His golf bag was set on the first tee at the Raleigh Country Club, carried to the tee by his caddy, Jay Green. The family will launch the Grayson Murray Foundation in the near future with the goal of promoting addiction awareness and enhancing mental health services and research.
From the vision of Eric and Terry is to harness all this energy, begin to raise money, and try to make a difference to save, at least one person's life, and maybe hundreds or thousands of people's lives.
The services here will begin at 11 a.m. and it will also be live streamed if you can't make it here in person. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Taxpayers, you'll soon learn how your money will be spent in Wake County and whether property taxes will go up. The proposed county budget sits at about $2.1 billion. It's set to be voted on today. It basically decreases the property tax rate for homeowners by more than 20%. However, the value of the average home, that in Wake County, has increased more than 50% after this year's reassessment. That means the average homeowner would likely pay more. The budget includes a $49 million increase in funding for Wake County Public Schools, but that's still more than $13 million less than what the district is asking for. Commissioners are expected to vote on the budget in their meeting tonight at 5 o'clock.
The Raleigh City Council is also working on the city's budget. The council will meet today for a budget work session. The city manager presented her proposal annual budget a few weeks ago. It includes a property tax increase that would pay for different services in the city. A big piece of that will pay for salaries for public safety employees like police, fire, and 911 center employees. The session will happen from 4 to 6 p.m.
Hunter Biden's trial related to felony gun charges starts today in Delaware. President Biden's son is accused of lying about his drug use to buy a handgun in 2018. The trial is expected to dive into Hunter's personal struggles. That includes his well-documented battle with addiction. The Biden family's personal and political future is in the spotlight as this trial unfolds.
What's known as golf's longest day is today. That's the final qualifying for the U.S. Open Championship at Pinehurst. Golfers will play 36 holes at 10 courses across the U.S. and Canada to decide who will be part of the field. One of the sites is Duke University Golf Club. 84 players will be there. The U.S. Open Championship starts next Thursday in Pinehurst.
Intense moments at a California beach because a shark attacked a swimmer. How many people were able to help him out as he escaped the injuries he suffered?
And while athletes at the Paris Olympics will be going for gold, Olympic officials are gunning for green. How this year's events are shaping up to be some of the most sustainable yet.
And watching some showers out there this morning. I'll let you know if they will affect your morning commute.
Welcome back on your Monday morning. Coming up on 8:12. Depending on where you are, you're seeing a little bit of rain. This is a live look at Rocky Mount Mills. You can see the rain in the distance. A really cool shot there. We also just saw some rain come through Raleigh. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner has a view down Fayetteville Street. That kind of has moved out, but some areas still coming down.
Just about 10 minutes ago, it was really pouring over downtown Raleigh, and you can see the wet streets here. This is a look at Fayetteville Street down toward Memorial Auditorium from our Jimmy V cam. But that rain is over for now. We'll widen out the view and take a look at where we are still seeing some showers. Parts of Harnett County through Cumberland County, Hope County, moving into Sampson County, and then up through Wayne County, up the I-95 corridor. And we've just had these little cells popping up here and there. No thunder or lightning with them, but it's really moist outside right now. So as these showers get started, they can produce some heavy rain. And we're seeing that from Fayetteville eastward up through Wade and then up toward Dunn and Benson. You're about to see that little round of rain coming through. In Clinton, you're going to see some of this us too. We move up to the north again, right through downtown Raleigh. We had that little cell that moved through. It's moving eastward and weakening a little bit, but it is headed toward East Raleigh, potentially over toward Wendell if it holds together long enough. Some showers in Goldsboro up through Wilson and Rocky Mount, and then up toward the Virginia line. So we'll continue to see these scattered showers with us up until around 10 or 11 o'clock this morning. Then we get a bit of a break, and then with some afternoon heating, we may see a few more showers and storms pop up, but the coverage, at least here on Futurecast, looks really minimal. We back off, and we have a cold front that's up to our north. That could dip near the Virginia line, increasing our chance of some showers later on today, but it's also just as likely to stay north of us and not influence us. But this front will bring us our best chance of rain all week. Some severe storms out across parts of Oklahoma with that one. It comes in late Wednesday and is with us through Thursday. We take a look at tomorrow morning. We should be dry in the morning, an isolated shower or two in the afternoon. Wednesday, same story. We're dry in the morning, some scattered storms later in the afternoon. Now that may continue overnight and into Thursday, and then potentially Thursday afternoon and evening, we start to see that front pulling away from us. 40% chance today, 30 tomorrow, 40 Wednesday and Thursday. And rainfall total for the 4 days likely to be somewhere between a half an inch and an inch. It's all going to vary depending on whether one of those thunderstorms rolls right over you or not and dumps some heavy rain. Tomorrow looks like the hottest day of the week at 89. And I know you've been outside, you know the humidity has returned. But the front that comes through on Thursday is likely to deliver some cooler air, some drier air. I was going to say it's not going to be cooler, but we will see a drop in humidity. I'll show you by how much coming up. Eric?
Elizabeth, taking a look at traffic here. This remains a busy Monday morning, including now up here in Durham. Haven't been talking a lot about them today, but well, now we've got a crash. It's going to be on 147 here. As we zoom in, you can see right in the vicinity of Irwin. You can see those eastbound lanes definitely have some pretty significant backups, about a mile's worth of traffic there at this point. Taking a live look outside NC 147 at Irwin Road. You can see that slowdown there as the camera bounces a little bit in the wind. Definitely going to be adding 5-6 minutes at least to your drive this morning. We're still working to learn exactly how bad that crash is. Taking a look at your drive times for Durham here now. Overall, not looking too bad at this point. Although if you are coming in here from Chapel Hill, it's looking like about a 12-minute delay. 5 minutes if you're coming in from Wade Avenue. Otherwise, nice and green there across the top. A similar story as we take a look over at Raleigh. Just a couple of minute delays for the most part. 5 minutes at the worst if you're coming in here from Wake Forest. Otherwise, your biggest problem in Raleigh is going to be those delays on the Beltline.
All right, thank you, Eric. 2 people are dead and 2 others are hurt after a shooting at a block party in Rock Hill, South Carolina. That's about an hour and a half away from Charlotte. One person who was at the party told NBC affiliate WNCNC that it felt like a war zone. That person said people wearing ski masks showed up and the shooting began. Officers say they found 2 people dead at the scene, a 44-year-old woman and a 21-year-old man. A woman who was shot was treated at the scene, and a man showed up at a nearby hospital with a minor gunshot wound. No arrests have been reported.
Thousands of people filled Manhattan streets yesterday to mark the annual Israel Day on 5th Parade. Marchers called for an immediate deal to free the Israeli hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. More than 70 family members of the hostages joined marchers as the war between Israel and Hamas nears its 8th month.
After 8 months, it's a long time that the hostages still there.
We need them out yesterday.
Israel's defense chief recently indicated the war will not end until Hamas is destroyed. Over the weekend, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accepted an invitation to address a joint meeting of Congress. In a post on X social media, he said he is looking forward to the opportunity to, quote, present the truth to Congress.
Rudy Giuliani's law license has already been suspended in New York, and now he faces the possibility of being barred from practicing law in the nation's capital. The D.C. Bar's Board of Professional Responsibility is making that recommendation. The board cites Giuliani's work in Pennsylvania after the 2020 presidential election, when he sought to have the state's election results thrown out. They say it violated Pennsylvania's rules of professional conduct. The recommendation now goes to the D.C. Court of Appeals, which will decide if Giuliani will be disbarred.
Water pressure is finally returning to downtown Atlanta and nearby neighborhoods. A 2-day water outage closed businesses and left homes without water. A large part of the city remains under an order to boil water before drinking it. Crews have been working since Friday to repair 2 broken mains. Authorities say water service has been restored to Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. Fulton County Jail, and other critical facilities.
A new report shows people who develop dementia often fall behind on their bills years before they're diagnosed with the disease. A team of economists and medical experts in the U.S. examined Medicare records to study how people's borrowing behavior changed in the years before and after they were diagnosed with Alzheimer's or a similar disease. Researchers found a year before people were diagnosed, more than 17% were likely to be late on their mortgage payments than before the onset of the disease. People were nearly 35% more likely to not pay their credit card bills on time.
Special education advocates are rallying around a new proposal. It's a plan from the State Department of Public Instruction. It would fund services for students with disabilities based on individual student needs. Right now, the state provides the same amount for every student regardless of disability. Well, that's frustrated advocates who think the system is underfunded. You can learn more about this plan on WRAL.com.
New this morning, Texas Representative Sheila Jackson Lee says she has been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and is undergoing treatment. Jackson Lee has been in the House since 1995. The Democrat says she may occasionally be absent in Congress, but will continue to serve. Lee serves on the Judiciary, Homeland Security, and Budget committees. It's not clear how the announcement may affect the thin lead Republicans currently hold in the House.
Intense moments at a California beach this past weekend because of a shark attack. Authorities say a 46-year-old swimmer was in the water with a group of people. This was at San Diego's Del Mar Beach when it happened yesterday morning. Witnesses say the man began screaming and started to fight the shark. Well, that's when two other members of the group swam to help rescue him. The shark bit his torso, his arm, his hand, and he was seriously injured, but he is expected to survive. Lifeguards shut down much of the beach to swimmers and surfers after that attack.
Authorities responded to a Granville County school to break up a fight between adults at a youth flag football game. According to Granville County Public Schools, the fight broke out during a South Granville Athletic Association flag football game behind the athletic field at Mount Energy Elementary School. The school district said while the fight was significant, no firearms were involved and no arrests were made. In a statement to Facebook, the school posted, reading in part, quote, "We take the safety and security of our campuses seriously." In 53 days, athletes from around the world will arrive in Paris to compete for gold. But Olympic officials are hoping to see lots and lots of green instead. Jackie Ibanez takes a closer look at the ambitious climate goals set for this summer's games, plus the security measures in place to ensure fans stay safe.
Excitement is building with the Paris Summer Olympics kicking off at the end of next month. But as the countdown ticks on, so does officials' time to make this one of the most sustainable Olympics in history.
Paris 2024 has made sustainability a part of its DNA since the bid.
Paris officials want to cut their carbon footprint in half compared to 2012's London Games and the 2016 Games in Rio. One area really helping them save is construction.
The decision not to build.
A whopping 95% of the Paris Olympic facilities are already pre-existing or will be temporary.
But then what you build low carbon.
The Olympic Village, where the athletes live, and the Aquatic Center were two new facilities that needed to be built. Still, those were made with low-carbon cement, wood, and salvage materials. Officials say energy will also make up only 1% of the game's emissions. They want to use 100% renewable power from wind and solar farms. Besides sustainability, security remains another top concern. French law enforcement recently arrested an 18-year-old man on suspicion of planning to attack soccer events during the games. Officials say tens of thousands of police and military officers will be deployed throughout the Olympics.
That was Jackie Ibanez reporting. Officials say even the food will help reduce the game's emissions. 80% of the ingredients are locally sourced and 60% of menu items will be plant-based.
Now, this isn't the typical song you hear coming from Duke Memorial United Methodist Church. Listen for yourself. This video is going viral on TikTok with nearly 1.5 million likes. If you couldn't tell, the tune of the bells is the pop hit Hot to Go by upcoming star Chappelle Roan. Another video shows the bell ringer's perspective, playing the song as you see right here. She captioned the video, quote, serenading the people of Durham with a queer icon on the first day of Pride, and the other day was the first day of Pride Month. Some high school students showed up for an SAT test at St. Aug. That never happened. This morning, hear concerns from parents about future college entrance testing as they scramble to rebook tests.
And a person is dead after a car crashed into a tree. What police say happened moments before this crash.
Vision. See our purpose. See our impact. See our dedication. See our energy. See our brilliance. Welcome to the CR.
Everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning and happy Monday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. Few of us are seeing a couple showers pass through. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner shows us exactly where.
Some of those down in our southern counties. Fayetteville seeing some rain. That's moving over toward Clinton. And then from Goldsboro up through Wilson and even parts of Edgecombe and Halifax County now seeing some showers. Let's move down to Fayetteville. And again, you can see where some of that rain is from Coach through Dunn, moving over toward Clinton. And then, as I mentioned, from Goldsboro up to Wilson. It's just a 30% chance of showers and storms for this afternoon. It'll be isolated. We haven't seen any thunderstorms yet this morning, but there could be one or two of those later on today. 70 in Durham, Raleigh, and Fayetteville, all places that have seen some showers this morning. We'll see highs in the mid-80s this afternoon. Eric?
Elizabeth, taking a look at traffic. We do have a crash on I-40 to tell you about. It's going to be down here outside of Durham as we take a closer look. You'll see near Fayetteville Street, that area, that crash popping up near Park 40 Place. This causing multiple miles of delays all the way back to NC 54 here this morning. Taking a live look out there right.
WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Some showers out there, especially in our southern and eastern counties at this point. I'll show you when we could see more showers and storms developing later today.
And WRAL is following two deadly crashes in Wake County. A 19-year-old is dead after a chase involving a deputy ended in a crash on Lewisburg Road. We're also following another crash where one person died in a single-car crash in Apex.
Remembering the life of pro golfer and Raleigh native Grayson Murray. Today, details on the celebration of life happening today and how his legacy will live on.
And history has been made in Mexico as the country elects its first female president. How local citizens reacted to the news after they cast their vote. Even some people here locally able to vote. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. Thanks for joining us here on WRAL News and Fox 50. I'm Chris Lemingood.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey. Yeah, we actually saw some showers pass through just a little while ago in Dix Park, but a lot of that rain is down in the south. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner shows us the radar right now.
A lot of that down around Fayetteville right now, down towards Lumberton, kind of along that I-95 corridor, sliding a little bit farther east toward Sampson County at this point, just north of Clinton and on up toward Dunn and Benson. We had some showers across parts of the triangle earlier this morning. A lot of that is sliding eastward now from Goldsboro to Wilson. We're seeing some scattered rain up toward Rocky Mount as well. We take a look at Futurecast, and we'll likely see these showers lingering up until around 10 or 11 o'clock. After that, a bit of a break around lunchtime, and then some redevelopment of just isolated showers or thunderstorms this afternoon. The coverage really looks pretty slim for us later on today. We've had a few showers rolling through Goldsboro. As a matter of fact, it is currently raining here, and you can see the wet conditions. Even though these cells look pretty small on the radar, some of that rain's coming down pretty heavily because there's a lot of moisture in the air. Our dew point's up at 67. That's a moisture-laden air mass. 70 is our temperature around the triangle, and we'll climb into the mid-80s for this afternoon. We have more rain in our forecast tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'll show you how much we could see total coming up. Eric?
Elizabeth, taking a look at traffic, we're continuing to follow this crash right here. That's causing the biggest issues for drivers out there this morning. As we zoom in, you can see this is popping up at NC 55 on those I-40 eastbound lanes. It's causing delays that are stretching from NC 55 all the way back around the corner to NC 54. This adding several minutes to your drive here this morning. Taking a live look outside, this is going to be I-40 at Fayetteville Road. You can see folks really slowed down there, in some cases at a dead stop as they deal with this traffic. We're still working to learn exactly how bad that crash was, whether there were any injuries, and how soon it could be cleared up. We'll bring you those answers as soon as we get them. Otherwise, looking at those drive times around the region here this morning for Raleigh, things looking relatively good overall, although you see 8-minute delay popping up there in Apex, 5 minutes as you're coming in from Wake Forest, 4 minutes as you're coming in from Knightdale. A very similar situation as we look over at Durham overall, just a couple of minutes generally, but you see it right there, 14 minutes as you're coming in from Chapel Hill. That wreck continuing to cause problems.
Just into the WRAL Live Center, we have new information from the State Highway Patrol on that deadly crash in Wake County we've been telling you about all morning. Troopers say the person killed in that crash, 19-year-old Aiden Gambone of Wake Forest. Troopers say he was the driver who led law enforcement on a chase that ended in this crash. It started before 10 last night. Wake County Sheriff's Office was pursuing a Nissan 370 sedan on US 401 North, also known as Lewisburg Road in Wake County. During that chase, the Nissan ran a red light, hit a Toyota Camry, and the driver of that was 33-year-old Orlando Roberts of Greenville, North Carolina. We've learned Roberts was taken to Wake Med Hospital with injuries. No State Highway Patrol members were involved in this pursuit, and the State Highway Patrol is handling this crash investigation. As soon as we learn more, we'll let you know.
All right, thanks, Renee. And another crash happened on Lewisburg Road, about 10 miles away at Fox Road. Video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows a Wake County Medic SUV being hooked onto a tow truck. We're working to find out what happened here and if the two crashes are connected.
We now know the name of the person killed in a serious crash in Apex this morning. Authorities telling us that 19-year-old Mario Rivera crashed his car into a tree on Green Level Church Road. You're looking at video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. Look how severe the damage is on this vehicle. The crash happened just before 3 o'clock this morning, and Highway Patrol says speed was a factor in this crash. Funeral services are happening today for Raleigh pro golfer Grayson Murray. And as WRAL's Laura Levine explains, Murray's death was shocking to the pro golf world and our local community.
Loved ones describe him as a kind, generous man who would just always lift everyone's spirit. So today, a celebration of life will take place here at Providence Church off of Glenwood Avenue. The golf community came together yesterday to honor and remember the PGA Tour winner who died by suicide. His family invited friends and fans to join them at the Korn Ferry Tour's UNC Health Championship for a special tee time. Murray's golf bag was set on the first tee at Raleigh Country Club, carried to the tee by his caddy, Jay Green. Family friend Jeff Manis shared a few words about this beloved champion.
Our hearts are broken, and we all grieve deeply for our beloved Grayson. But I got so much more from our relationship than I think he did because of the size of this guy's heart.
And his legacy will live on. His family plans to launch the Grayson Murray Foundation in the near future with the goal of promoting addiction awareness and enhancing mental health resources and research. The funeral services here will begin at 11 a.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Raleigh.
Mexico will have its first female president. Claudia Sheinbaum is the projected winner of the election. She is the candidate of the ruling left-wing Morena party. She won between 58 and 60% of the vote. That's according to the National Electoral Institute. And coming up in 10 minutes, hear from Mexican citizens living in Raleigh who were able to cast their vote in person.
Over the weekend, former President Donald Trump sat down for his first interview since his conviction. The interview with Fox and Friends aired yesterday. And when asked how he feels about house arrest and jail, Trump said he is, quote, okay with it and that it could happen. He also suggested there could be a breaking point for the public if he's imprisoned.
I'm okay with it. I saw one of my lawyers the other day on television saying, oh, no, you don't want to do that to the president. I said, you don't beg for anything. You just, the way it is. I'm not sure the public would stand for it. With a,
if you tried house arrest or
I think it would be tough for the public to take. You know, at a certain point, there's a breaking point.
Several times that he was under a gag order and called the Democratic Party the enemy from within, his words. Trump is set to be sentenced in New York on July 11th. That is just days before the Republican National Convention.
And Chris, Hunter Biden, the sole surviving son of President Joe Biden, is going on trial today in Wilmington, Delaware. He faces 3 firearms-related charges brought on by special counsel David Weiss, a Trump appointee. He has pleaded not guilty. Jury selection starts today and is expected to last 1 or 2 days. This is a live look outside the Wilmington, Delaware courthouse. Ultimately, 12 jurors and 4 alternates will be selected. The trial is expected to last roughly 2 weeks.
Families of students scheduled to take the ACT at St. Augustine's University are concerned. It comes after students showed up for an SAT exam Saturday and it never happened. Parents told us Saturday when they took their daughter to take the SAT, no one was on campus to administer the test. All of this comes at a time when the university is facing financial issues to remain open and keep its accreditation. One parent is now scrambling for another testing option out of the way.
One in Johnson County and one in Siler City. So, I mean, it would be a good hike for him to get out there. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, but, I'm going to see if they'll let us do that.
The College Board tells WRAL they're looking into what went wrong and will be notifying families this week about the SAT. We've reached out to the ACT administrators about the scheduled test next week, and St. Augustine's are waiting to hear back.
Taxpayers, you'll soon learn how your money will be spent in Wake County. A vote on the budget is scheduled today after weeks of public hearings. The proposed county budget sits at about $2.1 billion. That's a nearly 11% increase from last year. Today's vote could determine how much homeowners pay. The budget includes a lower tax rate for homeowners, but since home values are up, the amount you pay will likely also go up. And this budget also includes a $49 million increase in funding for Wake County Public Schools. The problem is for them, some say that this is still more than $13 million short of what the school district says is needed. Commissioners are expected to vote on the budget, and that is at 5 p.m.
And Durham County commissioners will meet to work on the county budget today and tomorrow. As they do this, teachers and support staff for Durham Public Schools demand better pay. Organizers from the Durham Association of Educators want county commissioners to pass the school system's budget with a $27 million funding increase. They plan to hold a news conference and deliver more than 800 letters from supporters to the commissioners today at 1 o'clock. That's right before the work session gets started at 1:30.
Facebook is making some changes. Hear how the social media app plans to make the site a bit more appealing to younger users.
And Simone Biles proving why she's still the greatest gymnast of all time. Her latest accomplishment as she continues to dominate the mat and her family's reaction.
All right, let's take you outside for a live look at the Wilson Worley gigs. You can see them spinning just a little bit there. We have some rain chances headed our way, and Elizabeth Gardner is going to give us a timeline of what today is going to look like. Okay, getting a live look at Wrightsville. Look, not just one angle, bam, 2 angles just there for you. We can see a little bit of that cloud coverage out there, and today kind of painting a picture of what you're waking up to this morning here locally. We have Elizabeth Gardner, who is tracking your weather forecast with some rain. We've already seen some this morning, Elizabeth.
We have a big shower there offshore there in Wrightsville Beach, too. Well, let's take a look at what's happening. The bulk of the rain is here moving across the I-95 corridor out of parts of Cumberland County into Sampson County, and then east of I-95 around Goldsboro, over toward parts of Wilson County. We still have a little bit of that trying to pop up in the triangle just north of Benson. You can see that rain there. And then headed southward through Wade and Fayetteville and then into the northern part of Sampson County. Also some showers rolling through Goldsboro and then eastward as you move up into Wilson County. It's starting to fizzle out just a little bit. We'll keep moving northward. A little bit of light rain east of Rocky Mount and east of Enfield as well through parts of Edgecombe and Halifax counties. Here's Futurecast, and you can see we roll through. We continue to have a few of these scattered showers in eastern North Carolina up until around 11 o'clock or noon. And then later this afternoon, there's 5 o'clock. So at some point, there might be a few isolated storms that pop up, but certainly our chance better this morning up until around lunchtime. Now, still, with some daytime heating, there's that chance that we'll see some storms pop up later on. When I say storms, we really haven't had any thunder or lightning this morning, but we've just had these little cells pop up with some brief heavy rain. It's been wet this morning in Wilson, and you can see there the whirligig spinning around fairly lightly. 70 is our temperature. Of course, course, everything changed over the weekend. We got back into a southwesterly flow that dragged in a more humid air mass. You probably noticed that yesterday because compared to, say, Friday and Saturday, it looked phenomenal. It was a beautiful weekend at the beach. So thank you to Ethan Williams for sharing this gorgeous view of Topsail Beach with us. We would love to see what's happening in your town or your backyard. Go to WRAL.com, search Weather Watchers, send us some pictures. We'll put them on TV. 85 in Raleigh, 84 in Durham, and 87 in Fayetteville. So it is going to be warm. It's also steamy. We're looking at 67 for our dew point right now. It will be quite muggy all the way through Thursday. Then a cold front comes through, and that's going to deliver some more comfortable air. Now, we still may be in the humid zone, but that's 2 levels down from what we're seeing right now. So a nice little break. It won't necessarily be that much cooler. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s for the next several days, and we're still looking at mid to upper 80s Saturday and Sunday. But the humidity dropping will certainly make it a pretty nice weekend around here. Between now and then, we have a chance for showers and thunderstorms each day through Thursday. It looks like late Wednesday into Thursday would be the wettest times. Eric?
Elizabeth, taking a look at traffic here, we continue to follow this crash on I-40 eastbound that's causing some problems for drivers in the Durham area. Taking a closer look here, you can see that crash popping up on NC 55 at that NC 55 interchange. Those backups stretching all the way back to NC 54 here. This is adding about 10 minutes to your drive. There's really no good way around it. You just kind of got to sit there and deal with that traffic. Taking a live look outside at NC 55 right now, you can see a DPD cruiser there on this side of the road, as well as a gentleman seemingly trying to work his way around to the back there. This has, again, been the source of our issues there, those delays backing up for miles. You can see them here, I-40 at Fayetteville Road, that traffic moving very slowly as they work their way down. Again, this causing about 10 minutes of delay. Nothing you can really do to get around it. You'll just want to plan for that as you're headed that way.
All right, thank you, Eric. A fast-moving wildfire has scorched more than 14,000 acres in California. The Corral fire is prompting evacuations as firefighters work to contain the blaze. The fire broke out on Saturday afternoon about 60 miles east of San Francisco. The California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection's last report says the fire is 50% contained. At least 2 firefighters suffered injuries. Dry conditions and gusty winds are fueling those flames. And Boeing's Starliner spacecraft may launch on Wednesday. It was supposed to launch on Saturday, but that was canceled. Technical issues stopped the launch minutes before liftoff. A feature called an automatic hold was activated, and this stops the rocket from launching. But it's unclear what activated it. There was a backup launch scheduled for yesterday. That was also canceled.
New this morning, Claudia Sheinbaum is projected to win Mexico's presidential election. That makes her the first woman to lead the country's government. This is coming from Mexico's National Electoral Institute. For the first time in history, Mexicans living abroad were able to cast their votes in person. 23 consulates were authorized for voting, including the Mexican consulate in Raleigh. Hundreds of people, as you see right there, lined up outside the consulate on Raleigh View Road yesterday afternoon. And the chance for people living abroad to cast their ballots in person is something voters say they are so grateful to see.
This is really big. There's been a huge struggle for people who live outside of Mexico to have access to votes. And so this is really big. It's amazing to see people try to participate.
Mexico's National Electorate Institute says more than 180,000 Mexicans residing abroad voted in yesterday's election.
As the summer travel season ramps up, some airline experts are offering tips for people with airplane anxiety. They say that if you're nervous about turbulence, try and sit in the front of the plane. It usually experiences the least amount of swing, and sitting next to the wings is also a good option because they're the center of gravity for the plane. And while picking a good seat may ease your flight anxiety, pilots say the best way to avoid injuries from turbulence is to keep your seatbelt on.
I also like noise-canceling headsets. That's just me. All right, we're getting a look at a new drug-free treatment that scientists and doctors say could change the current treatment for ADHD. It's called Mendy. Ironically, it includes more screen time. Using a neuroband feedback, this headband in an online video game, patients actually concentrate on moving a ball up a hill. This increases blood flow and provides more oxygen to the prefrontal cortex. That's the part of the brain responsible for focus, attention, and emotion. One 11-year-old boy says he's noticed a difference.
But Mendy kind of it helped me focus on the ball, which helps me focus on my teacher. and also like maybe my coach or my parents.
A study shows astronauts using it during downtime, they reported performing increases. They say that Mendy helps them manage the stress that comes with isolation and confinement too.
Facebook is making changes to appeal to younger social media users. The social media platform says it'll undergo significant changes. Facebook's Reels and feeds will utilize new tech that learns from larger data sets for recommendations. There will be video improvements like a full-screen video player, and a new professional mode will help creators earn money.
Former President Donald Trump is embracing TikTok. He's repeatedly spoke against the platform when he was in office. His first post was a video after attending an Ultimate Fighting Championship match in New Jersey. In the video, Trump called it, quote, an honor to be on the app. When he was president, Trump tried to ban the platform using an executive order. The Biden campaign also has a TikTok account, even as the administration has supported a nationwide ban.
A graduation ceremony was very special for one family as they celebrated new diplomas for a set of quadruplets. After high school, all 4 siblings decided they wanted to attend Bellevue University together in Nebraska. One sister says they shared 18 years together, so, what's 4 more? And it's the first time they've gotten to walk the stage since COVID-19 limited their high school graduation ceremony.
Not only did we graduate together through college with our dad, but it's our first graduation we walked into.
Yeah, that's Dylan, Emma, and Riley. They all earned their bachelor's, and Owen will earn his degree next. And now they'll embark on different journeys as individuals, but they will always share that sibling bond.
Our family. An award-winning actor is joining the cast of an upcoming Marvel movie. Plus, an Emmy Award winner is stepping into the boxing ring. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Very important. I think if you look at it,
Captain America is back in action. Anthony Mackie, whose Sam Wilson inherited the shield from Chris Evans' Steve Rogers, is in Atlanta doing additional filming on Captain America: Brave New World. Principal photography wrapped a year ago. Variety and The Hollywood Reporter say the additional shoot coincides with Giancarlo Esposito joining the cast in a villainous role. Captain America: Brave New World is due out next February.
Little moment here between Hauser and the cat.
Who is the true martial arts master?
Yes, that's Emmy winner Paul Walter Hauser, boxer shorts peeking out from his singlet, delivering a crane kick to fellow wrestler Mr. Thomas in MLW Battle Riot 6 in Atlanta. Unfortunately, the actor was eliminated from the Major League Wrestling event minutes later. Well, everyone pays their dues, and he'll always have that glorious crane kick to remember. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Simone Biles is unsurprisingly dominating and extending her record of national titles. Biles won her 9th all-around national title at the U.S. Gymnastics Championships, making her the only gymnast to do so. All eyes were on her family's reaction as she competed. NBC Sports posted this video to X saying no one loved Simone Biles' floor exercise more than her family.
Can she do it? Yes, she can. And before we go to break, here are the winning lottery numbers, just in case you missed them. We'll get you another check on weather and traffic. That's up in just a bit.